Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I'm gonna play with watercolor magicals and watercolor ground, and I'm going to create this drawing. So in case you are interested in watching me just have fun, I'll just want to show you the finished result so you kind of know in what direction the madness was going. So enjoy. Hello, we already turned back our clocks here in Denmark. So my time schedule is askew, which means that if I'm supposed to turn on my camera Friday 1 EST US time, it will be like 5 o'clock here in Denmark, where I am standing at a train station picking up my son from college. So instead of a live stream, I'm just gonna do this upload this week. I think that US changed their clocks the 6th of November, so it's only going to be this week that I'm replacing a live stream with an upload instead. I am skipping very fast through this sketching phase because I simply just want to work with a dome-shaped building, and my reference photos that I'm not following completely but I'm just getting inspired by is from a Danish church called the Marble Church. And to talk a little bit about this very specific, beautiful church, it's placed right behind the Queen's Castle here in Copenhagen. It took them 150 years to build it. They started in 1754, and the initial idea was to build this Baroque Rococo church inspired, but the architect, he died, and then in 1756 this French architect, he started picking up the building, and then he wanted to change it. He wanted to make it more like a classic marble church, and then of course when you have to import all tons of marble things, it became so expensive that they simply had to stop the building because our nation couldn't afford finishing it off. So for 100 years, it was lying like a ruin behind our Queen's beautiful castle, and it was like 19 meters tall, so it was like a rather huge ruin of rubble, until this rich guy, his name is C.F. Tietjen. In 1874, he said, like, you know what, I'm gonna buy this ruin of the treasury of Denmark, and then I'm gonna finish it. So this rich guy, he managed to finish the church in 1894, and it's just a mix of a lot of classic style from the the Baroque dome build inspired by the church in St. Petersburg to this classic marble French style, but it's very beautiful. It's very beautiful. So that's why I was inspired by this church, and is sketching my rough sketch of its shape. Yeah. Oh, how professional. Who starts the camera and then cough? It's just like when people are calling you and you says hello and then they start coughing as the first word. Okay, but you know what I want to play with today? I want to play with this watercolor ground from Core, because there's one thing that I have yet to try out with this watercolor ground, and that is to play with my magicals on top of it. I dislike using gesso on top or underneath my magicals because gesso seems to absorb the pigment, so you can see this edge, you know, you can see this very hard edge where the pigment is getting absorbed into the gesso, and it doesn't matter whether you use it on top of the magical or below the magicals. So I was wondering, I know that some of the components of this watercolor ground is very similar to gesso. I'm just wondering whether it will hold the pigment better. So let's test it out by playing with it today, and then watch me ruin my sketch totally because I'm gonna plaster it in with this. Of course I'm aiming for texture, right? So why pick up the watercolor ground unless you're gonna use it for creating some sort of texture, like the building is getting almost like disintegrating. Ooh, it's still a little bit transparent, so I think I actually can get away with just with a spatula to put it onto my sketch without losing too many sketch lines. But does it matter? Not really. I mean, this is a very rough sketch. I could have done the sketch prettier, you know, like being more aware of the shapes and making it like a harmonious shape, but since I know that I'm just gonna play with this magical, which is so unpredictable, I thought that, heck, I'm just gonna need like a quick rough sketch. So now I'm thinking, should I go like up in the air with it? Yeah, okay, we're gonna do it. We're just gonna do it. It's gonna turn out white on stream, so I think it's gonna be difficult for the camera to pick up where I lay it. So hopefully there will be like this surprise when I add in the magicals and it bumps into the area with the watercolor ground. We hopefully are going to see some sort of change of the magicals. Who knows? I'm applying it with a spatula because I am hoping for a speckled application, like gritty, giving it this more rough, uneven surface. Hopefully it will come down in splotches. I'm working on Hahnemuller textured 300 GSM watercolor paper. Okay. Sure, it has to dry. I got some over here. Maybe I should get some, just some sort of striation here then. I got my edges taped down. I like having taped edges when I work with magicals because they're so freaking potent that you can actually get a very nice crisp edge. Okay, why don't we just smear it on our clothes? Okay, I already got dirty. I love that sound, that gritty sound when you apply it, like you can really feel that there's some texture in this. I can't say that I'm a fan of this watercolor ground when it comes to like just working with watercolors. So that's why I am trying to use it on a drawing using magicals to see if it's more likable to use it that way. Okay, now even I have issues with watching where I put it and where I didn't put it. Okay, let's just let this dry. Okay, so it dried up. I think I want to give myself a completely wet piece of paper. And then I'm gonna apply some background colors using watercolor because if I like the way that the magical is dispersing and I don't want to touch it, I would be annoyed if I didn't have some sort of background color to fill out the white spaces in between the hopefully beautiful to come magical explosions on this paper. I have no idea how crazy I'm gonna take this, but you know, it's just a piece of paper. So let's just do this as a tester. I'm thinking that I would use the Daniel Smith Cascade Green for the dome itself, and then go into some pink hues for the brick building, because yeah, I'm just thinking that that would be like a cute color combination. So let's pick up a brush. Got this very moist brush right here. Here I got my Cascade Green from Daniel Smith. What's special about this is the way that it's dispersing into different colors. Hopefully. Now I'm a little bit in doubt. I don't really see. Okay, this Cascade Green sure is behaving differently on top of this watercolor ground. Usually you will see that it's like granulating into a different split up color. Can I enforce that with some spray maybe? Maybe I'm applying it too thick for my likeness. Maybe I should go like just giving it, you know, just a hint of the Cascade Green. Do we like that it's traveling up here? Yes or no? I'm not sure. Let's just hope that it will merge out to be a part of the painting. Ah, this is fun. Okay, I should turn down the camera closer to the paper so you guys can actually see what I am seeing. What I like about this Cascade Green is that it looks so beautiful with some gold watercolor paint. So I'm thinking that I can make a beautiful gold top painting, if you can call it that. When the painting is almost done, just come in and embellish it a little bit with some gold shimmer. That would be lovely, lovely. Okay, now I think that I should stop and let the magical do their thing. Maybe catch these runners up here, kind of merge it into the background so that it doesn't have like this green edge. Okay. Let's study the texture. Already now I see something that I really like. I really like this area right here where you can see splotches of the watercolor ground, and I really like this area over here where you can kind of sense the edge of the watercolor ground, but it doesn't have that clear edge that gesso sometimes would give me if I had used the gesso. So that makes some runners. Sorry for the camera angle. Okay, let me try and get in some pink shades down here. Just a soft underpainting, nothing big. I am using Winsor & Newton. What is it called? Okay, you know what? I got this huge color swatch on my wall so I can see it. It is called Queen Rose. A Queen Rose from Winsor & Newton. Oh, look at all this area here. And let's get a little hint, smidgen of quinacridone gold into this dome up here, like where I think it would look beautiful. Not a lot. It seems a little bit scary right now, but it's okay. It's okay. I think I want to carry that queen gold into the sky up here somewhere. And I think I want to carry some of the queen gold up here also. I don't know why. It's just a feeling, you know. It would be nice to have that color represented in the sky since it's on the building. Okay, time for the magicals. Time for the magicals. I haven't used my magical for a while. But I tend to remember that if I use the flat ones, they are not so shimmery. Because some of the shimmer is just really taking over, you know. So now I'm thinking which one would be clever. I think it would be clever to start out really soft. And unfortunately, there is a shimmer in this one. It's called Cosmopolitan Pink. And then I got this cream brulee cream. Yeah, it's like cream brulee cream. And then what is that? That actually looked like a paint chip or something. Let's get rid of that. Guess I played with something orange. Okay, I'm starting off soft because I don't really know how much color I would like on this one. So if I put a little dash of this Cosmopolitan Pink down here, and try and spray it. Doesn't really seem like it wants to move at all. I am a little bit disappointed in what I'm seeing here. So I'm just trying to mess with it with a brush. It's got this like coral feeling to it. Not sure that I'm a fan. So let's try with this cream brulee. See if it add something interesting to it. It's like the watercolor ground prevents it from dispersing somehow. Let's test. Let's test. Up here I got a mix of some watercolor ground here and not over here. So let's dump in something and see how it's going to act. What color? Oh, I feel like I should use some sort of let's try this spoon gray. It's not that hysterical, but it's still beautiful. I just want to you know, put some where there's like plain watercolor paper and then some on the watercolor ground. Mainly because I want to see if the pigment changes. I can see when the, unfortunately, you know, I have to dry up first before I can really see if the watercolor ground dilutes the pigment as much as it does with gesso. This is a very interesting cluster. I'm really in doubt whether I'm gonna ruin it by disturbing it. Yeah, it's totally likable to have that. Oh my god, it's called Gag Me With This Spoon Gray. So let's try and get some of the dark hues in with this Gag Me With This Spoon. That was a ton right there. That was unintentional to put in so much right there. Oh man, I'm probably using too much water. It's so liquid, my paper right now. I'm trying to block in the windows. I think I got windows here, not sure what I drew. I'm thinking I should try and do line work with my brush and just let it run into the magical. That was like super nasty what happened up here. Not sure that I liked that at all. Okay, I need to have some paper ready. I'm gonna run off some of the excess water because now it's just like piling up in a very unaffectionate way, you know. It's just like I feel that the watercolor ground is making it milky. Or maybe it's just an illusion. But it feels like super milky over here. I want to rescue that fupa that I did up there. So I think what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to dump in some of this Gag Me With a spoon and then try and mist it. little bit quiet now. I'm watching how it's running down, and something inside me tells me to leave it, let it dry, and then come back with yet another application, because I got these feathered out sections down here that I think is very interesting, but I am ruining it by not letting it set and become more permanent before I make more liquid washes on this paper. So yeah, let's let it dry, and then what I found out up here is that on the pure paper it will disperse and lay into the fibers of the paper, but right here when it hit the watercolor ground it just stays in clusters and is getting like washed away, like almost like the watercolor ground is pushing it off its surface, you know. So using the mister with the watercolor ground is making it more difficult for you to get these nice dispersed pigments. So yeah, but let's let it dry and see how it looks. So it has dried and I am a bit disappointed. Seems like the only pigment that has really held its ground has been the watercolor and not the magicals. You can see even the feathering out texture is just disappeared, and what's left is this very shiny surface here. And up here, look how disappointing that turned out. So yeah, I think I'm gonna hold back with the magicals and then finish it off with watercolor to prevent getting a complete shiny surface. So far I got like shimmer here and here and then a chunk here. So I think I want to keep it that with, you know, with the shimmer, because I didn't want a glittery surface on this drawing. So since watercolor is the only thing that really looks interesting, I think I'm gonna finish it off with just that. Yeah, things have to be tested out before you know if you like it or not, right? So I think I'm just gonna go in with some different colors, and I may or may not hit some undissolved magical chunks here and there, and it's only going to give a more interesting surface, I think. I also feel that with watercolor I can be more in control where I'm laying down my colors. So in this last application I can be more aware of where I want some dark contrast to appear. So what to do about this area here? I kind of like that there is these white areas. Maybe some potter's pink, maybe? Yeah, that's beautiful. Potter's pink is like really soft. So I think I'm just gonna go in with a top dry brush strokes. Over here it could be nice with something that's a little bit maybe this bright blue right here, just to give it a little bit of interest. I also want to do more of the cascade green, if I could get like a band of it up here, just to kind of end off the roof, you know, I would love that. And I will take the chance of applying more on this edge, because this is supposed to be kind of a darker color in this corner of the painting. I also think that up here I should work on maybe applying some of this blue, just a smidgen of it. For the sky, I think I should go maybe like a blue cloud kind of coming off the sphere, but preserve some of the white much as possible around the dome to make it like kind of stand out. So I don't think that I would bring the blue all the way down to the dome. Much more like put in this kind of abstract feel of some clouds maybe. A little bit of purple wouldn't hurt. Yeah, I like that. Do I like that white right there? Let me just try for fun to put in some shimmery paint here and there, just to emphasize those stripes. Gold next to this cascade green is just so beautiful. I'm trying to do it sparingly because I don't want like a complete shimmery surface. I'm a little bit quiet because I'm thinking. Now I'm grabbing gold, like the real gold. Maybe I should get some shimmer on the edge right there. So if I use this right here, I want to try and block in this white over here because light is not supposed to be that bright in that area. I feel. You constantly have to be a little bit cautious. I lost a lot of the dark contrast, so I got these graphite sticks from Derwent, and I think I want to play a little bit with the dark one. Maybe this medium. No, I'm gonna take this one. I think I just want to add some graphite where I completely lost my sketch. It would help me bring back some of the features. I like that the graphite stick sort of dissolves when it bumps into wet areas. Okay, let's see if we can kind of... First, I think I'm gonna mist it and see if it softened this up a bit. It is a water-soluble stick, so it should be able to take the abuse of water like this. I think I need to let this dry and see how it sits with me, if it needs more contrast. I definitely think that it will be nice to have at least some sort of dark line work. Some places. But it's taking more shape, you know, when you get a little bit more darkness over here, I think. So let's let this dry and see what we get. But so far I really like, you know, that what's going on. There's a lot of things going on in this drawing right now that's likable. So the painting is done and somehow almost dry. It's still damp and a bit buckled, but it will straighten out when it becomes like totally dry. I really like it. I like it. I think that I got some very interesting texture going on. I like this erosion feeling that you get over here. So there's a lot of like exciting places for the eyes to rest on this textured dome, I think. And I also like the tip of the dome where it's almost escaping, you know, the line work, but still isn't. I'm a little bit sad that I lost some of the line work up here, so I'm not sure if I should go back in, you know, with it might be nice to darken up some of the areas here, because I really like that architecture, curvature, or what's it called. So I'm thinking maybe I can get a hint of it back with just scraping it a bit with my pencil. But yeah, it's one of those pieces where you can like add tiny details if you want to afterwards. Okay. But thank you for watching. I wish you a nice weekend, and next week hopefully I will get back in my regular schedule time when most of the world should be back in sync with the same clock, when we all have turned our clocks backwards for winter. Wish you a nice weekend, and thanks for watching. Bye bye.